Last week's premium episode, we did a whole show about Brian Allen Fortune, one of our goons. The first episode he ever came, or we ever talked about him on, he was actually on the episode. And typically in a goon's life cycle here on PodAWFUL, we don't start talking about them again after they've been on the show. That's kind of the zenith of how far you can go in goondom here. So I didn't think I'd ever do another show about him, to be honest, after the one we did last week, because that one was already kind of stretching the bit. But then I had Brian's cousin contact me. His cousin Evan, who we spoke about in the last episode, who is sort of Brian's caretaker, and that might be more true than I even realized. You see, Brian believes that PodAWFUL owes him some money just because we spoke about him on the show and we put it behind the Pizza Fund paywall. Well, that's not typically how anything works. I could talk about Donald Trump or Kim Kardashian or anybody who's in the public eye, and I wouldn't have to pay them because I spoke about them. Brian's no exception. He puts out a show. He makes himself a public figure. Evan, his cousin, disagrees with that, and his main contention for me putting it behind a paywall and not giving Brian part of the cut, as he put it, is because Brian is, and I had no idea, I thought Brian was just a lazy piece of shit, kind of autistic, sort of stupid guy. But what I didn't know is, according to his own cousin Evan, Brian is, and I'm quoting here, retarded. And I had no idea. Apparently, Brian is actually clinically retarded, according to his cousin Evan. And so Evan has a problem with me exploiting Brian because he's a retarded person. And I get that. The problem I have with that is, I don't think I'm the one exploiting him. Number one, I didn't know he was. But number two, I didn't put him behind a paywall to make money off of him. Nobody knows who Brian is, okay? The only people that would be interested in that episode are the people who are already subscribed to the Pizza Fund anyway. I didn't make any extra off of Brian. But the weird thing is, Evan has tried to exploit Brian before. You see, Evan tried to do a Tim and Eric rip-off talk show with Brian as the host. He put it together, he made it happen, and he even got Tim and Eric's staple, David Liebe Hart, the retarded black man with puppets, to be a guest on the show. As you can see here, it's a ripoff down to the Eric Andre-like public access show, talk show set. Take a look at this. Here's David Liebe Hart.
Hi there, nice to see everybody. It's Jason on Orange City Kitty Cats. Meow, wow, wow, wow.
I see you brought your puppet with you.
Meow, wow, wow, wow.
So you brought your puppet.
Meow, wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
He says, well, he's meow.
You think you have bad sex life? Try to be a puppet.
So, you want to say I'm the one exploiting Brian, but you're literally exploiting Brian and David Liebe Hart in a terrible Tim and Eric ripoff? Well, guess what? You're going to keep calling me an asshole for doing this. I'm going to keep doing it. That's the way we operate here at PodAWFUL. We like to lean in on being an asshole. So guess what? Tonight's show is going over this video, Brian's talk show, and talking about it, commenting on it, critiquing it, which is all under fair use. We're allowed to do that. And here's what my audience doesn't know. I'm not supposed to share this video. It was sent to me by Evan, and I was told, don't share this with anybody. Why? Because he plans to edit it real nice and put it out there and exploit Brian Allen Fortune. Well, if you want attention and if you want fortune, here it is. Let's go bully the internet. This is PodAWFUL.
PodAWFUL sucks.
When you're sitting back and you wanna die, PodAWFUL makes that worse. Government leaves, they won't let you fly. Oh, the quench your thirst.
You know what? You're not funny. I want to really kick your ass.
I'm in that ass, bro.
What's up, guys? I'm your host, Jesse P.S. You already know.
sorry, nigga.
I'm Tom Gully, and you're watching Is This Live, the show
This content right here
on the PodAWFUL TV network.
is Pizza Fun's own.
PodAWFUL.pizza.
This shit is beefer. You're listening to Howdy Do with J. Crew.
PodAWFUL.pizza.
We got shooters in these streets.
Nigga.